How you guys doing? I got the sun in my eyes, so I got my hat pulled down. You see that big, beautiful, massive bed of leeks right there? If memory serves, I put 98 leeks in the ground, and I don't think I lost very many. So we're harvesting leeks today. So normally, the plan when I harvest my leeks is I basically just pull them out of the ground, take them home with the mud and everything on them and all the tops, and then I cut the tops off, which makes a big mess, and then I rinse all the roots off, and that makes a big ass mess in my kitchen because now I got mud all over the place. It's all over the floor. Well, we're not going to do that this year. I was talking to a fellow gardener, and he's like, why don't you just cut all the tops off at your garden, and then you don't have to take them home and deal with that mess in your kitchen. So that's step one. Well, step one's pulling them out of the ground. Step two, over here, right there, I have a big pot. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to dig these leeks up. I'm going to cut the tops off, and then I'm just going to throw the bottom of the leek in the pot, and right over there, you can't see it, it's behind the beans, right over there, I have a water tap. So I'm thinking I'm just going to turn the water tap on and let it bubble into the pot where the bottoms of the leeks are, and that should wash most of the mud off, and then I can just use my hands to take the rest of the mud off, and then I'm basically taking clean leeks home, and I'll just leave the tops here and the mud here. So I'm interested to see how these turned out. See, because I planted these different this year. Normally I would just plant the bottom of the leeks in the ground, right? But this year what I did is my leeks were 12 inches-ish long when I planted them, and I buried half of those in the ground. So I put about 6 inches of those leeks in the ground. So I'm hoping that bottom section right here, I'm hoping I've got 4 or 5, 6 inches of that in the ground, right? That's optimal. So I've got my potato fork, and we're gonna dig these up. So this is part one of a 2-part video. I'm gonna dig these up. We're gonna see if this is a viable way to clean them and take the mud off and process them. We're gonna see if that works. Part 2 of this video I'm filming tomorrow. So for clarification, it's almost 6 o'clock on a Friday. I just worked a 12-hour shift, and I'm at the garden pulling leeks out because I want to be able to make potato leek soup tomorrow morning at my house without having to come here and do all this beforehand. Good? Good. All right. So let's take this potato fork and let's dig up a couple of leeks. I'm sitting on geotextile right here in a bed that I never ended up planting out. So I'm going to pull a bunch of leeks out, I think, and we're just going to lay them right on this geotextile because it'll keep it nice and clean, and see how this process works. All right, let's do this. And normally with your leeks, if you plant them normal and don't bury them, you definitely don't need a potato fork. You can just grab and pull them out of the ground. But I'm hoping there's about 6 inches of that plant buried under that soil. So let's find out. Okay, well, that's what we got. I mean, it's thick, guys. Look how thick that is compared to my finger. So that's decent. See, this is what I don't want to take home. And this is normally, so what happens is if you throw a bunch of leeks into your tote with all this in it, you get soil all down in here, and it's a bitch to clean out. Now you're gonna end up, if you've grown leeks, you're gonna know that in here you always end up with a lot of bug poo and slugs. So you have to wash these off anyways. All right, well, let's dig a few more out. That's not so bad. Okay, I'll give you guys a high-speed version, and we're just gonna pull a whole bunch of these out. I think I'm actually just gonna lay them out on the grass as I do this. Then I don't have to keep moving around. Yeah, definitely works good using the potato fork. Okay, so let's cut a few tops off. See, this is what I'm talking about, right? You always end up with dirt and junk inside your leeks, so you got to wash them really good. And that's another reason I don't want to transport them home with all these tops on, because we're going to end up and that on the bottom. Look at that. I mean, it's the size of a cantaloupe. I've got a wheelbarrow set up so I don't have to pick these leaves up off the ground. And I think we're basically just gonna do something like that. Take them home like that. I don't need all that green stuff. I end up cutting it off anyways, right? And you know what? Maybe we can... That is a lot of dirt. And if you look in there, there's still tons of dirt. So that's, I think that's what we're gonna do. And then I'll just get that pot and we'll just start filling the pot up. I'm gonna dump a bunch of these in the pot and let the water start flowing across this root. Yeah, see, it's still full of mud. So we're just gonna let those, I think we're just gonna let those sit there for a minute and soften up, like that. And I'm gonna go trim some more leeks. Okay, I got this system figured out. Dig her up with the potato fork, and it always comes up with a big ball of dirt, right? Take your leek, take your potato fork. Look at that. Look at that. I almost don't even need to soak those. That's working great. Let's try another one here. Like that. All the dirt. That's pretty damn clean. Well, that's what we're gonna do moving forward. Let's keep harvesting. So in case you guys missed spring planting, here's how these were planted. This is a 30-inch wide bed. All right, the leeks, we have 4 leeks in a row, and they're 6 inches apart and 6 inches centered. So basically 6-inch circles around each one of these leeks. And we ended up with, I mean, considering we had 0 rain this summer, and by 0, I mean we had no rain this summer. I've never had a summer like this. Considering we had no rain, we are still pulling, I mean, these aren't necessarily good examples, but we did pull some pretty nice leeks out of this garden, considering we had no rain and I've barely been watering this garden. So planting them deep must have definitely helped. And I mean, like, look at the tops are still healthy. There's barely any yellow. I mean, sure, you're always going to get a little bit of yellow, but you know, and they're still growing in the middle. See, they're still growing. The only reason I'm taking these out is because it's October 3rd and we're basically winding the garden down. I only have a couple more things left to harvest, and I have a bunch of big weed plants that are going to be ready in a couple of weeks. So I need to get the garden ready so I can then transition over to focus on weed plants. So there we go. That's what we're pulling out. So 4 across in a 30-inch wide bed, 6-inch spacing down the rows. So I was all excited to be able to tell you guys that after I harvested all the leeks, we didn't lose any except for that crappy one right at the very beginning, right? But I found one that didn't quite make it. So far, this and that crappy one at the very beginning that was on the left-hand corner, these are the only ones that didn't make it out of the 98 or whatever it is that I planted. I'd say that is pretty damn good successful. We got her done. As you can see, the sunset. I'm not even sure what time it is. 7-ish or something. So this is what we ended up with. 87 leeks. Like I couldn't fit any more in here if I tried. It's literally packed front to back, side to side. So they minimal mud. Look at that. Not much mud left. There's a little bit on this one, but you basically always end up peeling this first outer layer off anyways. So 87 leeks for potato leek soup tomorrow. And then, as an added bonus, a whole pot of broccoli. Come here with some tools and a pot and leave with 87 leeks and a pot of broccoli. I'll call that a win all day long. Well, just like that sunset, my day's about over. So I'm going home. Hope you guys have an awesome day. And I hope your harvests are coming along nice. I mean, I know some of you are in warm places where you don't have to worry about frost wiping out your garden, but our season here is almost over. The garden's basically empty. I've got some Swiss chard over there, some broccoli over there, and some carrots. So about once a weekend, I'm going to be pulling out whatever's left. There's the moon. Whoop. All right, so yeah. So follow along for the next video after this, and you're going to learn how to make some absolutely stellar potato leek soup. So have a great day. See you on the next one.